Everything. Oh, we got that one. Yes. I got a feeling everything's gonna be. This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like.
I'll end by saying this. When they expelled us, they had no idea that this was going to happen. They just thought that they would go about as they do and as they always do, that they would abuse their power and there would be no resistance, that they would do something unconstitutional and we would just have to wait to seek accountability. When we say to that there comes a time where time itself is ready for a change, and that time has come to Nashville. That time has come to Tennessee. Speaker Cameron Sexton, you can either move on over or we'll move on over you, because we're moving on. And so, friends, Nashville and Tennessee, we hope you join us in the People's House, because no matter what happens here today, we have a speaker who may not respect the results. So we need people to show up in the chamber and let him know that we will not allow him to stand in the doorways of the legislature like governors of the past and politicians of the past still sit in the doorways of schools challenging desegregation. We won't let him stand in the doorways of democracy anymore. And that he tried to crucify democracy, but hey, happy Easter Monday, because we are resurrecting a movement across this state. Forward together and not one step back. Forward together. Whose house? Whose house? Whose house?
The Republican-led supermajority of the Tennessee General Assembly sought to have a political lynching of 3 of its members because we spoke out of turn against the status quo of the government after the tragic deaths of 6 people in the shooting at the Covenant School in Nashville. Evelyn Dickhouse, William Kinney, and Haley Scruggs were 9 years old. Cynthia Peake, Mike Hill, and Catherine Kuntz worked at the school. The shooter, Audrey Hale, was gunned down by police that day as well. Because we walked to the well of the House out of turn, resolutions were unjustly and undemocratically filed against us on these trumped-up charges. Because we spoke out against the empire, against those in positions of power without God power or people power, because we spoke out against the empire of the NRA and the gun lobbyists because we demanded an end to gun violence and an end to the proliferation of weapons on our streets and an end to the funerals we attend day after day and week after week and month after month and year after year. Because we did that, the Republican-led General Assembly, with the support of folks even in this district like Mark White from our own community, thought it better to get rid of our Democratic representation in District 86 than to actually solve the problem. This has been a holy week. This has been a sacred week. The lesson from it is that resurrection is a promised prophecy.
They tried to kill.
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? Welcome back to the channel. It's your girl, Philly Phil, and we are back with another social justice news hour. Only an hour. I gotta go. I got a lot to do. I'm being real with y'all. I gotta get my lunch together for tomorrow. I still gotta cook tonight. But listen, baby. Woo! I heard she was sipping coffee on a porch just the other morning, like had nothing happened. Yeah. Oh, Susan, that is. Sipping coffee on her front porch. I like my coffee black with 2 sweetened lows, nothing else. I don't need no cream, no soy milk, none of all that other fancy stuff folk get. Just give me some black coffee. And let me say this before I go any further. Shout out to my daughter who's expecting her third child, baby. You know what? She called me. Me and Tom was sitting there watching TV. I was like, Ash said she pregnant. She 5 weeks pregnant, child. Oh my goodness. And shout out to my daughter, Ashley. It's gonna give me a third. That's gonna make me have, oh child. You know, Rico's daughter looks like me. She has my skin tone. She looks like me. Okay, she looked like me. That's Jaden in Oklahoma. Then you got little Miss Zizi who be saying, cooking in the kitchen with Granny. And then you got No. And now you're going to have I don't know what they're going to name. I don't know if it's going to be a boy or girl. Oh, I don't know. It's going to look like Ashley and her husband and the other two. Okay, they all got the same mom and dad. Child, bless them, honey. That's a good thing you did, Ash, girl. You kept it over there with one man. Woo! Not everybody do that, okay? It is what it is. But yes, I just wanted to say that. Shout out to my daughter. Now, back to the commentary. Oh, Susan, who took the life of a woman that has 4 children left here to be raised by their grandmother, AJ Owens' mother. And the grandmother looks so good. And, you know, she's relocating to Florida to take care of her. And, you know, Florida, how ironic. My daughter is in Florida, Jacksonville. But she's going to relocate there to take care, you know, and keep the kids together, not separate them, you know, one may, you know, no, you know, so, and that's a good thing. And that that grandmother, she is a strong woman. Boy, did you hear her speak? I mean, and everybody can't do it. I don't know if I could do it. I'm just going to be honest. I'm just going to tell you, I couldn't do it. But she did so well. She believes in God. God got her. Okay. I believe in God too. But boy, some people just got it. And some people got that genocide. Ain't that what you said, Miss Lorraine? I got it, but not when it comes to that. But the woman has been arrested. Yes, she's been arrested. And we're going to listen to a little bit. We're going to go to Ben Crump's social justice web. Child, why is Tommy calling? Hold on, honey. Hey, honey.
Are you telling me or chastising me for using a privileged motion? Is you fussing me out for using a privileged motion? Is that what you call yourself doing? What did you just say? What did you say? You're not going to allow me to do what? I mean, you laughing. I'm trying to hear what you're saying.
Okay, I think that you can hear me just fine, but for the record, I said I will not allow you to gaslight this community.
Gaslight?
Yes, sir. I suggest you look it up. We will continue with this appeal.
We'll deal with this after the appeal. Watch yourself.
As a reminder on the appeal.
Because I can use adjectives.
Excuse me, Mr. Mays, you are out of order.
When you dog me out and interrupt me and tell me I'm a gaslighter, I'm thinking that's some type of arsonist. And when I talk back to you, because I didn't call you no name or use no adjective, but I'm going to look up some and I'm going to remind you of what you call me sitting in that chair. Yeah, when you talk about me, you talk about folks. Gaslighting. Don't use no more adjectives for me. You can shake your head all you want. You can turn red all you want. Leave me alone. And how dare you talk to me like that? You don't know me. Talking about you gay.
I'm sorry, I had it on mute. Tommy follows all of my channels and he gets all of the notifications. He know I be live. He just like to call to see if I'm gonna answer, I think. But anywho, what was I saying? I think I was talking about that heifer that took the life of this young mother of 4, and now her mother, who still black don't crack. Prime example. But seriously, she's going to, raise her 4 grandchildren and keep them together there in Florida. I mean, I guess she's relocating to Florida, so I guess she'll stay there. And, make sure that they continue she said she wanted them to continue the normalcy of their life. But I believe I heard, there was one of maybe the 9-year-old was with the mom when the woman shot through the door, her locked door, but she was allegedly threatened and was standing her ground. We went through this with Zimmerman and Trayvon Martin. I wish I would have been on YouTube then. I just don't get it. These people in this stand your ground stuff, but the laws are the law. But the sheriff did do the right thing and has finally arrested her. Now we're going to look at a little bit of this footage. Let me see here. Do I want to do it this way? Oh, it took my, hold on. You know what? I'm going to do it that way. We're going to go to Ben Crump's site. Let's see what he had to say here.
Attorney has in his prosecutorial discretion the right to examine all the evidence and increase the charges to murder or murder two. And so I know from the family's standpoint, they want to make sure that she is charged to the fullest extent of the law for what she took from them. So we're thankful to the community and the activists for saying just that, Kurt. And understand this, Attorney Thomas and I and Attorney Jackson, we often talk about this because some people don't understand how the process works, how the administration of justice, the police charge with what they recommend. It is the state attorney who has the final say in what charges will be brought. So we should all let the state attorney know if you feel he should be looking to increase the charges. That is why you all elected him. We think the state attorney has in his prosecutorial discretion.
Okay, so right there, Ben Crump is saying that just because Deanne, the sheriff or whomever charged with that, they can override that. They can override that charge. And I'm sorry, y'all. I was just so into this case. I got hello to everybody in here. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for supporting me. See, I just came in and just started going in. Kizzy, all of my moderators, all of my supporters, I thank y'all so much for being here. My laptop been tripping. It's been flickering. Miss Lorraine is here. Yes, thank you, Jesus. Do what you do. Jesus asked for punishment. Okay. Yes. All right. You better know it. Simply joining. Yes. Josh was in the building. Thank you, everybody, for joining. We're only going to be here an hour. Yes, copyright disclaimer, because I will play other content when it's worthy of me playing, like this. Okay. Social justice content. Yes, I will. Annie, hey, Miss Annie, how you doing? How you doing? Miss Annie, that phone be tripping. I can't really text back all the time. And listen, if anybody wants to call in and wants to say anything about this, please call 501-542-2514. Call in if you have any commentary that you'd like to say on this within the next hour, okay? Hello, Chanel. How you doing? What's going on? Thank you for stopping by. I'd like to know you all's thoughts on this, okay? Let me hear your thoughts and opinions. In fact, I'm going to drop the link too, just in case, somebody wants to hit the panel real quick for the one time before I get out of here. There you go. I dropped the link too. Okay, everybody was just speaking. All right, everybody was just speaking. And I thank you guys so very much for being here. Jonetta, did they deliver them titanium bracelets to old Susan? She had the perp walk. I posted that. She did get the perp walk. Yes, she did. Deanne is in the building. Hello. I can't sing. I can't even pretend to sing like your daughter. Okay. I don't have it in me. I'm pissed they didn't charge her with second degree. They charged her with manslaughter. But you know what? Ben Crump just said, the people's attorney just said that can be overridden, honey. So you just never know. Don't never give up, Deanne. Don't ever give up. Justice is slow, but it's certain. And we can look at Miss Michelle Griggs, and we're going to also say we're going to look at Miss Jackie Foley, because her justice is coming. Justice for Kalitha Foley is coming. Oh, it's coming, baby. Just to show, as my name is Philly Field, and I'm sitting here. Yes. So, justice is what we need, is what we demand. Hello, Queen Black is in the building. OG Patrice, how you doing? Thank you all for being here. I appreciate any support that I get, okay? Whether it's 10, 20, 30, 40, or 50, or 2,000. You know, we can do that there too when we want to. But just thank you for being here. Now, let's get back to being Crump for a minute. Let's get back to some more social justice. Let me see what else he had to say about this case. It says, supporters, advocates, please continue raising your voices and standing with AJ Owens' family. We thank you all for your advocacy, which has helped us accomplish so much this far. Our path forward. Justice for AJ will be so much stronger with your continued support. So make sure you continue supporting. Let me like this right there, being Crump, the people's attorney, honey. And here it is, right here.
58-year-old Susan Lorincz is charged with manslaughter with a firearm, a first-degree felony with a maximum sentence of 30 years in prison. This is Lorinc's mugshot. Fox 35 got it minutes before 1 o'clock this morning. First appearance begins at 9 a.m. We are in contact with jail officials about whether she is scheduled for that time. The arrest follows a day of protest over the death of AJ Owens, who was killed after being shot through her neighbor's door.
Yeah, the pair were allegedly in a dispute over a children's tablet as well. And Randy Hildreth is live outside the Marion County Jail this morning. Randy, the sheriff has spoken exclusively with Fox 35 about the arrest and the ongoing feud between these two neighbors.
Hey, good morning to you both. And one of the more difficult pieces of information that's come out of this investigation is that Owens's children were key witnesses in piecing this story together. I do want to break down the very latest that we got from the sheriff's office in the series of events that unfolded that day that ultimately led to Owens being shot. And one of the things that the sheriff's office has said is that Lorincz was angry at Owens's children who were playing in a field near her home. We're told that she started yelling at them, which was overheard by a neighbor. One witness says that Lorincz used racial slurs towards the children. Deputies confirmed she threw a roller skate at the children and one was hit. And they do say that an older sibling of Owens went to the home first to talk to Lorincz, and she swung an umbrella at them. And that's when they say Owens went to the home and knocked on the door. They say Lorincz fired one shot through the closed front door and it hit Owens in her chest with her 10-year-old standing next to her. I want to show viewers that mugshot again that we got overnight. Now, Lorincz claimed that the shooting was self-defense and that Owens tried to break down her door, but investigators say between witness statements and surveillance video, that was not true, and Florida's stand your ground law doesn't work in this case. In that exclusive interview with Sheriff Billy Woods, he acknowledged the growing calls for Lorinc's arrest, including protests yesterday, but he said investigators needed more time to go through everything.
We know the direction is going, and we can't give out information, and it's difficult because here's the truth. Did we want to make the arrest that night? Absolutely, we did. There's no doubt about it. It's tragic when we see somebody that just shoots through a door and shoots another human being, really just because of a neighborhood squabble.
Now, Attorney Benjamin Crump, the civil rights attorney who is representing the family, released a statement. He is pushing for continued accountability as they continue to work through this investigation. He called in question the stand your ground law. He is expected to have a news conference at noon today with Owens's family. Coming up in the next 30 minutes, I'll have more reaction. Live this morning, Randy Hildreth, Fox 35 News.
Allegedly shooting.
Wow. It says Susan Lorincz in handcuffs at the Marion County, Florida Sheriff's Office after the 58-year-old was arrested on charges of manslaughter and other offenses for allegedly fatally shooting AJ Owens through a closed door. Now, I know folk like to holler about stand your ground and all that stuff. But you can't stand your ground if you're in your house, your door is locked and you're secure, on the other side of your door with a weapon and someone is just knocking on your door. No, you are not in any threat or harm. You're not in harm's way. You're not in harm's way. You can't do that. No matter how much you despise certain people. Okay? I wish no one to lose their life, even though you may despise some people. No, you can't. Only the devil does that. Now she's in handcuffs. Talking about she was standing her ground. Boo-boo kitty, no. The sheriff says no. Not while you was behind that locked door. Now, I know a lot of you are saying that, she should have been charged with much more. But that's just like we're going to go back to the Tim Norman case with Injustice for Dre and Terica, who is home free in Memphis selling wigs and weaves and cleaning teeth and doing all that kind of stuff. Miss Michelle Griggs is okay with that. It was 3 years? Sometimes you just have to accept what has been put on the table because justice is still going to be served, which is our ultimate goal, right? I know it is for me. When I say social justice, I truly mean it. I'm not here for the numbers, okay? This is social justice. I want justice for Kalitha, justice for AJ Owens, and so many more. I do. All right, let's get back to this. I didn't stop sharing it, did I? Hold on, guys. Let me see what else Ben got over here. Let me see what else Ben has over here for us to listen to today.
Sheriff Billy Woods, and Sheriff Woods, tell me, has she been arrested yet?
She has been arrested. She's here on our campus here. She's being there. My detectives are finishing up with some interviews with her at this time. And then once they have concluded, she will be escorted into the county jail.
And is her name being released yet?
At this moment, no, it's not. But here soon it will be. And it'll be out there in a press release that my PIOs are about to give out.
And can you tell me what was it that determined she did shoot this woman and that it was not an act of self-defense?
The whole time we had only one side of the story, okay? We know that she shot through the door. Of course, on her side of the story, she makes claims that her life was being threatened. And the way the laws are written in this state, and this is what people need to understand, is our hands are tied in law enforcement in these cases where we are instructed that we cannot make the arrest because we have to rule out whether the shooting was justified or unjustified. So one of the biggest things is the interview of witnesses, and some of our witnesses were the mother's kids. And obviously we were not going to interview them that night after watching their mother be shot and killed. Okay. So we did it on Monday morning so that they sat down with counselors. It wasn't my investigators. It's to do this the right way so that they can sit down and the counselors can talk to them to get the children to talk. And they did. And we got a bigger picture and we got the full picture. And a lot of the hard work of my detectives wanted to ensure that we closed all the loopholes so that she would not have a defense of using stand the ground law. And this is not a stand the ground. Okay. Let me make that clear. This was not. And it was an unjustified shooting of Miss Owen, and she's arrested for it.
And what was it like for you to see the protests, to see the emotions so high, saying, why hasn't there been an arrest yet?
It's frustrating internally because there's so much information like myself, us CAOs and law enforcement have. We know the direction is going and we can't give out information. And it's difficult because here's the truth. Did we want to make the arrest that night? Absolutely, we did. There's no doubt about it. It's tragic when we see somebody that just shoots through a door and shoots another human being, really just because of a neighborhood squabble. That's what it boiled down to. And it's extremely frustrating because these people that come, and let me make this clear, this is not, what we saw today was not my community. Now, they'll stand up for what they believe in. But that was not Marion County. And the majority of these people that come, they're not even from this community. They're not even from this state. And my community knows that justice will be served. And justice was served tonight from my office. And we will get it through the prosecution. And that's the other part of the process is that we have to ensure that the case we build and we give it to the state attorney's office, that when it does go to trial, it's sealed. And we all know, it's up to the jurors when it comes to a case, if she even goes that far. But we want to ensure that we haven't missed anything. And my detectives work hard, vigilantly, and they've been working hard and vigilantly since that night.
And so what will the charge be?
Right now, the first charge is manslaughter with the firearm, culpable negligence because of the children being present. Third, because of the incident with the children just prior, the additional charges are assault and battery on the children themselves before the shooting that occurred.
And was there ring video of this whole incident?
That one I don't know.
Okay.
Off the top of my head.
But it was really the children that made you
Children were the key, and any other witnesses in which we had. More of the ring thing is just affirmed to us of what we were looking for is her possibly deleting ring video. So I don't know. Personally, I do not have all of that information at this time to be able to give you.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. Appreciate your help. Now joining me is Sheriff Billy.
So they're saying that they were worried about her possibly deleting the ring video. Let me tell you something. Nothing can be deleted. The owner, the ring owner, if you have a ring video doorbell or whatever at your house, the people that created it, just like YouTube watching every video we make live. YouTube is watching me right now. YouTube, they're the owners. So the ring people that created the ring thing, they have that. It won't matter if she tries to delete it, honey, because I'm gonna tell you, somebody else has some videos too. You know, everybody got cameras, and I got can watch my backyard, my front. I want to see what's going. Anybody coming into my house I don't want over here. So yes, you know, people have cameras. So if she's trying to delete that ring video, honey, it won't work. And the sheriff knows it. I'm sure he didn't want to go into all that, but he was like, before she tries to delete any ring video, because it's going to show that woman just knocking on the door. You know, even if she did, bam, 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 she still didn't go in there and try to harm her. It didn't justify her taking that lady's life. And the sheriff, you heard the sheriff say, this is not a stand your ground case. Now, the sheriff said it. The sheriff said it, not Sheriff Andy. This sheriff, I'm not joking, but the sheriff said this was not a stand your ground case. She can't claim that. She took that woman's life in cold blood. And for that, she will have to suffer, as Demise said, who is a freaking correctional officer. Hold on, you all can't see that. Let me see. Let me do it this way. Will you be able to see if I do it like this? I'm a correctional officer. She will have no peace in prison. Them inmates gonna get her, and she'll deserve it. She may have to go in protective custody, and should, and needs to be. How you gonna take a woman away from her 4 children? Now her mother, that woman's mother, is left here to raise those children, and I'm sure her grandchildren. It's just a sad, sad situation. Let me stop sharing being crump for now. I do have something else that I want to look at. I have 2 more things, not long. Let me see right here. We're going to look at this a little bit. This is from MSNBC. One of my favorites.
Moving now to Florida, where an arrest has been made in the shooting death of an Ocala mother of 4. Susan Lorincz was arrested and charged with multiple counts, including manslaughter for the fatal shooting of her neighbor, AJ Owens, following a dispute last Friday. The Marion County Sheriff's Office says Lorincz became upset over Owens' children playing in a nearby field. When Owens went to knock on her front door, Lorincz allegedly shot through the door, killing Owens. The mother of AJ Owens, Pamela Diaz, spoke with MSNBC last hour.
As a mother, as a grandmother, the grief, the pain that I am bearing, watching my grandchildren go through this, words can never, never explain how I feel and how my babies feel, how AJ's babies feel.
Joining us now is NBC anchor Lindsay Reiser. Lindsay, what more do we know about the sheriff's decision to file charges?
Well, Jose, we know that they were able to talk to eyewitnesses who only came forward yesterday about what happened. They also interviewed Owens' children. Finally, they had specialists do that, and they did arrest her. And Susan Lorincz was booked into jail at 4:25 this morning. Lorincz also was interviewed by detectives, and she told them she had become angry over time at Owens' children. They were playing in that field near the apartment complex. Neighbors told our Joy Reid last night that this woman has a history of antagonizing.
But the thing is, she's renting. You do not own the property, ma'am. You do not own that field. Probably belongs to Rosewood. You don't hear me? I'm just saying. How you gonna get mad about some kids playing in some property on property that's not yours? You know what? I'm starting to get a little perturbed. Let me continue playing this.
And yelling at the neighborhood children. Lorincz, according to police, according to detectives, threw a roller skate at one of Owens' children, hitting his toe. Remember that civil rights attorney Ben Crump also says she yelled racial slurs at the children. The children, we're told, left something in that field, an iPad or some sort. They went to Lorentz's home to try and retrieve it. That is when detectives say Lorincz swung an umbrella at them. The children went home, told their mother, AJ Owens. She came to try and talk to Lorincz at her home. According to detectives in the family, she knocked on the door, asked for her to come out, and Lorincz shot through her door, striking Owens in the chest and ultimately killing her. Lorincz says that she did this in self-defense. She said that Owens had previously attacked her. We have not been able to corroborate that. But we do know that Lorincz was arrested. She was charged with manslaughter, punishable offense in the first degree by
Okay, you know, neighbors sometimes do have disputes or whatever. But one thing AJ Owens didn't do is shoot a gun at this woman. So what if neighbors fuss and fight, cuss each other out, whatever? You have a right. I mean, you can express yourself. People cuss and fuss on the YouTube virtual streets every day. Ain't gonna bust a grape. Ain't gonna bust a freaking grape. So I'm just saying that could have happened. I don't know, allegedly, but she never tried to take her life. Is all I'm saying. All right.
30 years, also charged with negligence, battery, and 2 counts of assault. And the sheriff talked about the stand your ground law and how that comes into play. This is what he said.
It does not apply in all situations. And this situation is a prime example of when it was not justified.
Come on, Sheriff.
It was simply a killing.
Oh, wait a minute. The sheriff say it does not apply. It was simply a killing. Now that's the sheriff up there in Florida. Miss Susan, this does not apply. You were not standing your ground. You are an evil old woman. You're a hateful old evil woman. Children were playing on the property of the owner of this estate, so whatever where you all were living. It wasn't your property. And from what I can tell, the landlord has said the children could play in that field. From what I've read, I still have to do my research because you know I'm going to do it. You know I'm going to come with the receipts because I can and I will. But they were playing on the property where the landlord said they could play. They left their iPad after this deranged killer started hollering at them and they went home. And then they went back to get their iPad. And the mother went there and to the door and knocked. The door was closed. You can see where the bullet wound went through the door. How you scared and your door locked? Somebody need to really slap the shit out of her. She reminds me of somebody.
Lorincz is expected to make her first court appearance likely tomorrow. She's undergoing medical testing now, and attorney Ben Crump in our last hour, Jose said.
Okay, so now she undergoing medical testing now. She ain't crazy. She knew what she was doing. All right, we're gonna listen to it. We're going on about 33 minutes. We got a little bit more. We're only gonna do an hour because I got stuff to do, but I did want to come out here and talk about this. So let me find this other one. Now here's the news conference after the family reacts after the neighbor has been arrested. So let's listen to some of this. This is all falling under Section 107 of the Copyright Act, okay, where allowances has been made for commentary, criticism, and teaching purposes and all that good stuff. Okay, YouTube, that's what we're doing.
Good afternoon. My name is Bishop James David Stockton, and I stand here today as the president of the Marion County NAACP. But I also stand as pastor, father, community activist, and one that cares and concerned about others. Today we're here for a press conference or press briefing on where we are now and to also share what's next. Because we are first and foremost men and women of God, we will open up today with a moment of prayer. And so at this time, I'm asking the moderator from the Second Bethlehem Association to come to open us up with a word of prayer. After him, we're asking Dr. Jerome Gamble,
and somebody needs to hear this.
First Vice President to the NAACP, and who is one of the senior sages of our city, to greet us. And then we'll go from there. At this time, Dr. Blunt.
Let us pray. Dear merciful, kind Master, we come now to say thank you for another day. And God, we come now at an hour that seems to be dark, and some are dismayed. But God, you told us in thine word, but this is the day that you have made. And in the midst of all things, we should rejoice and be glad in it. But God, we are here now with some heavy hearts. I pray, oh God, that you will continue to look down upon us, lead us and guide us, govern us and help us.
Yes.
To be and do those things that are pleasant in your sight. And then God, comfort this family.
Yes, and the children.
In these times of question. Help the community in this time of question. And then, oh God, we pray most of all that justice will be served.
Justice.
We pray most of all that we'll all be treated as you want us to be treated. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us all from evil. For thine is the power and the glory forever. In Christ Jesus' name we ask it all. And every heart say amen.
Amen. Okay. Because we believe over here on this channel. We believe in God on this channel. Okay.
To Bishop Stockton.
If you don't believe in him, you ain't welcome. I'm sorry.
Leader of our local branch of the NAACP. To all of our fellow brothers and sisters in the clergy, to the attorneys and legal counsels, to this family in this hour. We're just grateful to God today that we are here and we are reminded of the most recent response to our cries for justice in our community. We are crying for justice, but we're also crying out for the love and the comfort of this family and the children of this mother who has been murdered unjustly and so severely. And we want to make sure that as a community, we unite behind this cause and this family, and that we are a blessing to them.
Look, I want to stop real quick. I apologize. Look, thank you so much for the 2 cash apps. Thank you, Miss Lorraine and Miss Robin. Thank you guys so much. And I'm glad you are supporting this type of content. I know it's not the most popular, but thank you. I didn't even know I had gotten some cash apps. I want to thank you, honey. I want to thank you. All right, let's get back. Thank you so much. Feel free to support your girl. $ Phillyfield65. Okay, thank you.
Listen, we are here today as the result of one of the major problems.
Come on, Pastor.
In our community. Gun violence is an epidemic.
Evil old witch.
Public health problem in America and in Ocala and in Marion County. and the efforts that we must make to bring a different solution to this problem are resounding. They are not short-term. The police are not able to arrest enough people to stop the violence. We must find some new and innovative ways to deal with this issue and with these problems. No one organization, no one individual is able to give us a solution that works for the betterment of our community and for the future of our children. But Ocala is blessed. We have some folks in Ocala who are working to make a difference in the life of this community. We have the Public Policy Institute of Marion County, who has recently released the gun violence study. We have the Children's Alliance Teen Gun Violence Task Force. We have a viable NAACP working to make a difference in this community. The thing that we need is all of you to be a part of this work. We need for you to join in these efforts. We need for you to attend the meetings. We need for you to give us your very best thoughts about how to make a difference in the life of our children. We dare not fail our children, and we dare not fail our God. Thank you so much for coming, and God bless you.
Again, this is a press conference, and the family reacts to after learning that Susan, who took the life of the mother, their family member, their mother, their sister, their cousin, mother of 4, their daughter, now they're reacting. Okay, so this is a press conference, and we're only going to do another 30 minutes.
At this time, it is my pleasure and privilege. I wish for other situations and for other circumstances. A native of our state, one that has fought not only here in our state, but all over our country, or one whose voice brings forth change. I believe one whose presence.
You know, you wonder what makes a person so evil to where they would even think, I mean, who's carrying a weapon wanting to do something like that? I mean, what's wrong with you? It's the devil himself or herself.
Causes people to do different things.
I said it.
So at this time, I'm going to
call me if you got something to say. You disagree, call me.
None other than attorney.
There's the number.
Thank you so much, Bishop Stockton, for your prayers and your great leadership. And I thank so much to all the faith leaders.
Let me say shout out to Ben Crump, the people's attorney. The people's attorney. Ben Crump. If you ever run across this video, Ben Crump, Justice for Kalitha. We need you, Ben Crump. We need you.
Who have prayed for this family and supported them from day one. So thank you all for being men of God and women of God. Thank you. And I understand you wear another hat. You're also the president of the NAACP. So thank you for your leadership to that end as well, Bishop Stockton. And I'm here very honored to be with my co-counsel, a great lawyer who worked for me when he was in law school. Now he's a big-time lawyer who does important work. And most importantly, he is a native son of Ocala, Florida, Attorney Anthony Thomas. And certainly to Attorney Natalie Jackson, who is always working behind the scenes, but She is an incredible civil rights lawyer. Let's give that sister a round of applause for her great work. To God.
You know what, Deanne, and I didn't know she was a correctional officer. Y'all better leave Deanne alone. She's been like this all her life. It just caught up with that hag. Woo, child. You probably right. I ain't gonna deny you. You probably right. Let's get back to being Crump.
God be the glory. You know, Mark, one of the young people asked, and then it was followed by reporters. They said, so now that there's been an arrest, Attorney Crump, what are you going to say? And to Kima, I said, what are we going to say? We want justice for AJ. What are we going to say? We want justice for AJ. What are we going to say? We want justice for AJ. It's that simple. We are very grateful. We are thankful to Sheriff Woods for their arrest last night.
Said we want justice.
Yes. It brought great relief to Pamela Diaz and the family of AJ Owens. We're thankful, as we said, to the faith leaders for praying and pushing for the arrest. But most importantly, I want to say thank you to the community and the activists, those young people in Ocala and all across America for saying we need swift justice. We need an arrest. So we thank Sheriff Woods and we thank the activists, because without the activists, we are mighty afraid this would have been swept under the rug. And you're going to hear from Pamela in a few minutes to talk about that great fear, that great concern that her daughter's life didn't matter when they didn't arrest her that first hour. They're not the next hour. They're not the next morning. No arrest for 24 hours. No arrest for 36 hours. No arrest for 48 hours. I mean, the hours must have felt like years to Pamela Diaz and her family. But we serve a God that sits high and looks low, and he kept ordering the steps of those community supporters and those activists, those co-workers who worked with Pam at McDonald's, who took the social media and would not stop talking about what an amazing person that AJ Owens was. Amazing mother.
All right, McDonald's co-workers. You know what? Sometimes it be your co-workers come through for you quicker than your family will. Because, you know, you work with your co-workers, you see them just as much as you see, if not more than you see your family. That's your other family. I'm going to keep it 100. I'm keeping it real. Okay. But we see her family loved her. She had real family. Look at the mother that came on in there. Okay. Because her daughter was good to the mother. She had a good daughter. So the mother,
amazing co-worker, amazing friend, amazing sister. We can never thank those local activists enough. And we have to thank these national strong women activists, these sisters. I mean, like Takima Robinson and Christy Henderson and Tamika Mallory and Teslin Figueroa and Angela Rye and Amanda Seals. I mean, so many amazing, strong Black women said, no, if it can happen to AJ Owens, it can happen to me too. And so we want to thank all these strong Black women here and across America, because Black women don't get enough recognition for helping uphold this country. And we especially want to thank her core supporters, her best friends, and the godmother of her children who have been standing there with Pamela Diaz. And you're going to hear from Pamela, and every time she speaks, my heart just swells up because this grandmother talks about.
Now, this press conference was an hour long. Now, we're only going to go another about 10 minutes or so, but we will. I'm going to finish this press conference probably tomorrow. Okay. Now, let me stop talking.
Her daughter a lot as if she's still here, but we know that she's gone, and she talks about how irreplaceable her daughter is to her grandchildren. But standing in the gap along with Pamela Diaz is the crew, I call them, our unofficial co-counsels, and that is natives here in Ocala who have been doing the petitions, the GoFundMe, calling the sheriff. I think the sheriff called for Attorney Thomas and I, but also called for Kim too. And so I want them just to stand and be recognized, the three young ladies who were her best friends while she's on this earth, and still her best friend now that she's up in heaven. Kim, Tarnisha, and Felicia.
He say her best friends while she was here, and still her best friends while she's up in heaven. Ain't nothing like a friend. A friend in need is a friend indeed. Ain't nothing like a good friend that won't stab you in the back. They hard to come by. They hard to come by. She had some true friends. Let's get back to it, honey. Come on, Ben Crump. Justice for AJ.
If you all would just stand and be recognized. And turn to the audience so they can give you your flowers. These are the real people who made it happen. The real people. And I know we have Otis Diaz, who is the brother of AJ, who will come with his mama in just a minute. Otis, at least stand and be acknowledged. This is a strong young man who's been by his mother's side the whole time. And so we're very grateful to Sheriff Woods for making their arrest. We don't take that lightly. We don't take it for granted, because Black people getting swift justice in America is not something that happens all the time. And even though we're bothered that it took 4 days, we understand because of archaic laws like stand your ground.
Now, he just said it took 4 days for that woman to be arrested. Oh, my. It only took 4 days, but you know what? Y'all remember this, right? Justice for our Dre. How many years did it take? But we got justice. Okay, it only took 4 days. And then I know justice for Kalitha. There's still, look, we still waiting. We need somebody to get a trial date. So it all coincides together. All these cases run together. Justice, this is the People's Channel over here. And we now have the People's Attorney speaking on the People's Channel. All right?
It could complicate matters. But as Attorney Nala Jackson reminded me, while we were watching the crawl on the Central Florida news feed, we saw that 2 Black people were arrested and charged for shooting people. And we're almost certain they're going to have a claim for self-defense too. But that then caused any delay in them being arrested and charged. So where white people shoot us, we don't want there to be a delay in being arrested and charged. And it's so important, y'all. It's so important because we can't have this message being sent, Bishop Stockton, that it's okay to shoot black people in America for knocking on the door or ringing the doorbell. It's not okay. It's not allowable. It sends the wrong message, America. I mean, we saw just a month ago the 7.
It's not okay. It make you not want to knock on nobody's door anymore. What if they just might be mad at you for that day and hey, I'm gonna stand my ground. You don't want to knock on your neighbor's door anymore. You don't want to knock on your neighbor's door anymore. Okay.
17-year-old teenager in Kansas City, Raphael, ring the doorbell and get shot in the head. And then we see Pamela knock on the door 4 or 5 times. I'm sorry, AJ, Pamela's daughter, knock on the door 4 or 5 times and then say, I know you hear me. And then Attorney Thomas, all the witnesses have told us, and then you hear a shot. Pamela falls at the side of her 9-year-old son with her 12-year-old son in close proximity.
Tell it then.
There's no arrest. One of the main reasons I am so relieved that Sheriff Woods made that arrest last night is because it tells Pamela's children that it was not their fault. Woo! The law says it was not their fault.
Because you know those children could have been thinking, what if we wouldn't have been over there playing? What if we would have been at home? You know, you never know what those children are thinking, but now they know it wasn't your fault, babies. If you ever run across this video, it wasn't your fault. It was the evil neighbor, Susan. She's just evil. She's evil. She's a demonic spirit is what she is.
That's why I'm so relieved, because you can only imagine how confused they are right now.
Yeah.
I think Pamela and Kim was sharing with me, and Valicia, that her 9-year-old son is feeling guilty, feeling like it's his fault. He wish he wouldn't have said nothing about the iPad, because then that means his mother would still be alive. And so today we get to share with.
But do you know that child for the rest of his life will probably think, what if I just hadn't have said nothing to my mama about it? He's going to think that even though it's not his fault, it's the devil. It was the devil that did it. He's going to be blaming himself, that he's going to need therapy. He's going to need therapy and counseling for the rest of his life, because he stood there on the side of his mother when her life was lost. And he's going to remember and say, what if I just had not said anything? That's just my commentary and my opinion, okay? That's my opinion, people.
Her children, and try to make sure they understand that this senseless act of violence that killed their mother before their eyes was not their fault. It was not their fault. And we got to continue to tell them that they did nothing wrong. They had every right to be a child and play like kids. Black kids should not have a heavier burden because the color of their skin than white children just going to play in the field and just saying that we want to get our iPad back. They should not feel guilty for that.
That's right.
Their mother should not have been shot in the chest area for that, through a locked metal door. And so that's why I am so relieved for the arrest. Before Attorney Thomas shares a few remarks with you, I would simply say this. We have to remember now, this is only the first step.
That's right.
Towards justice. The state attorney now that Sheriff Woods has.
You know, he's right. That's the first. I mean, I'm just going to go back and look at Tim Norman. He's appealing. Even when people get convicted, they still fight. This is the first step. She hasn't had no trial or nothing. hasn't been convicted. She's only been arrested. So it's a battle. It's a long fight. But justice is slow, but it is certain. Remember that, people. Don't get discouraged. It's coming. It's coming.
His job, he has a job to do. And that is to zealously prosecute the killer of AJ Owens. We want him to zealously prosecute the killer of AJ Owens, just like he would do if the roles had been reversed and you had a black woman shoot a white woman through a locked metal door and kill her in front of her children. We want the same justice. We don't want nothing extra, nothing special. We want the same equal justice for AJ Owens. Nothing more, nothing less than justice for AJ. What do we got to say? Justice for AJ. What do we got to say? Justice for AJ. What do we got to say? Justice for AJ. Thank you. Attorney Thomas, a great lawyer.
And we're going to stop it right there with Ben. And I will come back tomorrow and pick up right there where we left off at and finish that footage, that conference. Even if you've seen it, I'm still going to play it over here. But I'm going to stop now. It's been an hour. This is the news, social justice news hour with your girl PP. Now I'm going to get off of here because I got some things I got to do. I got to cook. I got to get my lunch. I got a lot to do. But thank you guys so much. Susan has been arrested. Justice for AJ is what we want. Okay, Trish gonna catch the replay. Thank you, Trish. You better catch this replay, honey, because I'm gonna tell you something. We all about social justice over here. Okay. All right, y'all. Thank y'all for joining me so very much. Everybody, thank you so much. Show Enough, Lions Pride, Lorraine, Trish, Kizzy, everybody that was up in here. Okay, thank y'all. Thank you for the donations to the channel, the cash apps. I appreciate it. Thank you so very much. I'm out of here. We'll be back tomorrow. Lord bless, nothing happen and the creek don't rise. All right.